Alright, greetings. Here we are, back inside Gravity Sketch 6.0. This is Motion Reel Academy's beginner overview workshop for Gravity Sketch 6. Part 1, VR controllers, buttons, and menu. Alright, let's check it out. Here are the controllers, and we're going to go over all these buttons and some of the functions of these awesome VR controllers. I'm on a MetaQuest 2 right now, but if you have a different VR headset, your controllers should look similar. Let's talk some terminology. First off, the drawing hand. Whatever hand that you use to draw with will be called your drawing hand. For me, it's my right hand. If you're left-handed, it'll be your left hand. Then, there's your non-drawing hand. For me, that's my left hand. And this is the hand that I do not draw with. Then there's the blue button. That's here on my non-drawing hand. And the purple button, which is right here. Then we have the red button here. And then the black button right here. Then we have the thumbsticks. Left and right, these each do a different thing, depending on what mode and tool you have selected. Then we have the thumbstick buttons. So when you click the thumbstick in, it acts as a button, and it does different things depending on, again, what mode you have selected. Then we have our grab buttons. These are the buttons on the insides of our controllers to grab something by pushing down on these buttons. You got the left one, the right one, and then also when you push both, it does a zooming action. And the trigger buttons are here, and they also do different things depending on what tool you have. In this case, it draws a line when I hold down the trigger button on my drawing hand. Then there's the pointer. When I have a menu selected or any of these toolbars and I want to select something, you'll see this pointer pop up here. And then we have the grab sphere, this gray sphere that goes around your drawing hand. You can make it larger and smaller by moving the thumbstick up and down. When you move it over an item, you'll see that it turns red. And the item that you have selected also turns red. So you can select multiple items with the grab sphere by making it bigger, or just single select by making the grab sphere smaller. And finally, we'll look at some common terms that we'll be using throughout this course. Select, of course, is when you move the grab sphere over something, then you'll see that it is selected. When you select something and then hold the grab button, then you have it grabbed as long as you hold down the grab button. When you let go of the grab button, you don't have it grabbed anymore, and it lets it go in that exact position, and there it stays until you grab it again. Duplicate, if you have something grabbed and you hit the trigger button, it duplicates it and makes a copy of that. Alright? But this is a separate copy, so if I change this text, it won't change it over here. Then delete, if I have an item and I want to delete it, I can grab it, and then I'll hit the red button, which you'll see has a minus on it, and that deletes the item. Snap, let's say I turn the grid on, and I move this item, then you'll see that it snaps to these points on this grid here, and that is called snapping. And we'll go into the grid and more detail later. Then we have layers menu, and these layers, if you've ever used Photoshop or any other software that has layers, they work in a very similar fashion. This layer is the layer that has this text on it. When I move over a layer, it'll highlight the items that are on that layer in red. And then I can select this layer I can change its opacity, turn it on and off, lock it, and also move it around in this stack. And I can also delete everything on the layer and the layer itself by hitting the delete button while I have the layer, the red button, while I have the layer grabbed. Alright, next up, we're going to talk about different modes and how you control windows and menus inside of Gravity Sketch 6.0. Let's get into it. First up, the different modes. Alright, the first mode is your regular mode, your scene mode. When you're moving around in a scene and you're looking at your scene like this and you don't have anything selected, this is your regular mode. When you select an item and put it into edit mode, you do that by grabbing onto an item and then clicking on the blue button, and that puts it into edit mode. Now, only this item is editable, and everything else in the scene here is untouchable. So the only thing I can work on at this point is this one item, and here is this item in edit mode. Now we'll go ahead and open up a cube. Here's a cube. Grab it with my grab hand and put it into edit mode. Now you can see that the edit lines, faces, and nodes come up. This is a face. This is a line. And this is a node. Each one of these three things is editable separately. I can move this face, I can select and move this line, and I can select and move this node. You can also select multiple nodes and move them together. And by changing the mode of this tool, and to change the mode of the tool, I have to move left and right on my drawing hand's thumbstick, and you'll see that the icon will change. And also, things will change here in the viewport. This mode means I can select any of the three items, faces, lines, or nodes. When I move it to the right once, then it turns off the ability to select faces and lines and only allows me to select nodes. When I move it to the right again, it only allows me to select lines. So here I can select the lines and move the lines of this 3D object, but I cannot select faces or nodes. And then again, this is face mode, so now I can only select these faces and manipulate the faces. And the final mode is the scale mode, where I'm able to scale this item on the different axes. Any window from a toolbar can be grabbed, torn off, and placed into the scene like so. So I can take any menu from any of these toolbars and just drag it right out into the scene, and it'll remain there until I bring that toolbar up again, and then it goes back to my tool hand. So I can also remove these from the viewport by grabbing them and hitting delete. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.